Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Round Table Talk, and I am your host, C Money. And in today's episode, we are doing a food review in South Florida. Now, I don't know if I actually did a review of this place, but I'm back here at one of my favorite taco places. It is called Bodega, here in Fort Lauderdale, off of Los Olas, I think. I'm thinking, no, that's the person behind me. I'm here at the Bodega Korea and Tequila, however you say it, here in Fort Lauderdale near Los Olas. It's near downtown Fort Lauderdale. It's not too far from the Fort Lauderdale White Line station and the Broward Central Terminal. I am here and I wanted something interesting. I was in the area and I wanted something interesting, and I've been here before. I've been here several times by myself, and I've also been here with a friend of mine. And we, come. Normally when we come, it's on the it was usually at nighttime when it's packed. And with this location, unlike several locations, they have a speakeasy here. And for those of you that don't know what speakeasy is, it's kind of like a bar, and their bar is attached in here. And if you don't know about Bodega, they're popping up everywhere. Their flagship location is in I'm sorry. Their flagship location is in South Beach, where they are, I think, building one in Wynwood, and there's several locations, and this is one of their locations. This is the only location that I have been to. There is several locations. I've seen the one in West Palm Beach. I did do an episode in West Palm Beach, so if you've ever seen my hot spots in South Florida, and I did an episode in West Palm Beach, I did walk by there. And I've also did an episode in Coconut Grove, where they do have a location in Coconut Grove. So if you've ever been to check out my hot spots in South Florida, Coconut Grove, you'll see that I walked by there, but I don't think I featured them. And they have several locations, and now they have locations all over, and like in other states. But their flagship location is here in Miami. The flagship location, which is the main location, in South Beach. They do have a location at the Casella Center, which is home of the Miami Heat, and they are getting a location at the Hard Rock Stadium, which is home to the Miami Dolphins. If you go on their website, they tell you all the locations they have, and they have the ones that are coming soon. Today I am eating one of my favorites. The last time I got here, I didn't get it. They have this is a surf and turf, which is carne asada, shrimp. It's got a whole lot of ingredients. I don't remember if I got the surf and turf, and all that. It comes with a whole lot of stuff, and the first time I ended up eating here, I believe it's probably with a friend of mine, if I'm not mistaken. No. I ended up eating here, the first time I ended up eating here, it was on a Tuesday, and they ended up having Taco Tuesday, and it was like, wow. And if you ever get a soda, they have this. This is what they call Mexican Sprite. It's just Sprite in a bottle. But, since it's a taco place, they call it Mexican Coke, Mexican Sprite. So we're gonna take a bite into this surf and turf. Wow. I must say, it's a little spicy. I don't remember what is in it, but it's a little spicy. So you are going to a little spicy. I didn't add no beans or onions. Had things, my napkin just flew away. Ooh, excuse me. Now, I plan to visit the other locations as well. I want to visit the West Palm Beach location and other locations, because this is the only one I've been to. And why? Because I, frequently visit Fort Lauderdale, and I said, okay, and it's mostly at nighttime. This is the first time I've ever had bodega in the daytime. And they do Taco Tuesdays where you get like 3 tacos for $11. But when you do come, you don't get a lot with the tacos. You don't get a lot of stuff with the tacos. Actually, they have that's next to me. There's a bodega van that's next to me. So I guess it's a delivery truck. This surf and turf is $17. It's well worth it. I was thinking about getting one of their bowls, but I said, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I'll probably be heading home soon. I just want to get something violent that fill my stomach, because in the area here, there's a lot of several restaurants. There's the Pulsa restaurant that's next door to this. And there are a lot of several other restaurants here, and of course a McDonald's. And I said, I want something interesting, but something that I haven't had in a while, or something that is out of the ordinary. I like no McDonald's, no Burger King, no fast food chains, nothing in and out. Something that's freshly made, and this is freshly made. It's actually toasted. So, now the first time I came here, I ordered. Now when you enter these places, you're automatically going to be amazed, because their registers, if you walk up to the registers and you follow them on Instagram, they have a signage thing above the registers. You know how when you go to restaurants and they're outside, they have these little signs where they be promoting stuff or having quotes and stuff like that, whatever. In every restaurant they have a signage like that, and every day there's a different word of the day. This one today is bodega. It's never too hot for spicy margaritas, because that's one of their signature things here. Also, tacos, burritos, bowls, and margaritas. And every day there's always an inspirational thing. You can also follow them on social media, which I do as well. For some of the restaurants that I do try out, I follow them on social media. And not only do they have signage in there that has quirky quotes and uplifting quotes and different types of quotes. When you go inside and you go to the register, the outlook of the register looks like a food truck. When you go inside, the registers look like a food truck. It's designed to set up like you're ordering from a food truck. Like this location is a building, but when you go inside, it's set up like you're walking up to a food truck. Even though I believe they do have a food truck, but when you walk up to the register, it's like you're ordering from a food truck. Now, they have changed up here in recent. When I first got here, you order from a cashier at the register, and and I was like, yeah, you order the stuff or whatever. And the last few times I've been here, they had self-ordering kiosks where you order from the kiosk. And here they don't have the self-ordering kiosks. I guess that's late night when it gets busy. They have the self-ordering kiosk. But here I created an account and ordered online, and I do that to a lot of the restaurants that I frequently visit, and I say, why not just create an account online, because it'll be easier, because a lot of the times I create accounts online to get my food faster, like when I go to places like Chipotle, or I have the McDonald's app and places like that. I order online. I create an account online, and it makes it easier, so when I go to these places, I can just, hey, I'm just gonna go pick up my food and get out of here. Because most of the time when I go in Chipotle, they be having a line, because with Chipotle, you got all that, you gotta have one person to say what you're having, the bowl or the burrito. And then sometimes people like myself, I get the bowl and the burrito, so they gotta do both. What you want, brown rice, white rice, and then the next person, they got to put the protein on it, and then you got the person that got to put all the toppings on it, and then you got the cashier. So it has a long line. So for me, I like to order mine online. Plus, most of these restaurants have rewards programs where you can get rewards points and redeem the points. Like you know, free sodas and stuff like that. And that's why I did it here, because here they say you can do rewards. Now I didn't download the app because I don't want too many food apps, you know, because I don't come here as much. You know, McDonald's I go to on a regular basis, so I don't mind ordering, you know, downloading the app. But like for certain other places like Burger King and, you know, Chipotle and all that, I don't go there as much, so I just don't have the app. I just create an online account, you know, and I order my food online so I can get it picked up. Sometimes I get it delivered depending on the site. Like the restaurant I did a while back called Our Papi's Kitchen. I did a food review on them. Go check it out. I have an online account with them, but they don't do delivery, they do takeout. For you to get delivery, you'll have to go to a third party, which is Uber Eats or, you know, DoorDash or something to get delivery. But most of the time, I like to do my deliveries through the actual companies because, you know, I don't want to pay extra fees for delivery, because when these delivery apps and the delivery service like Uber Eats and DoorDash and Postmates and all that, you know, you got to pay a service fee, a delivery fee, you got to tip the the driver, you got to pay the order meal plus taxes. You know, you get a $10 meal, and by the time you finish, you're paying almost $30 for a $10 meal. And I'm like, yeah, no, let me just order directly from the restaurant, because most of the restaurants, when you order online, they have zero delivery fees. So it's like, okay, let me order through the restaurant. So they do have, I think, beer and wine here, and also margaritas. They make their own margaritas here. I did do a video of downtown Fort Lauderdale here, and I probably did showcase this space. I probably did an episode, but I just know I wanted to do another one. Now, in the daytime, this is not a high density area because, you know, it's mostly travelers and people who work in the area, because this is downtown Fort Lauderdale, where they have a lot of businesses and a lot of office buildings and financial buildings and stuff like here. And, you know, a lot of apartments and condos and, you know, hotels and stuff like that. You know, something like similar to downtown Miami, but not as much as downtown Miami. Like I told you, I did a comparison from downtown Miami to downtown Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale is way much better because the nightlife is a lot better, and everything down here is a lot better. You know, you have, even though both areas have trains, downtown Fort Lauderdale has White Line, downtown Miami has Tri-Rail and White Line. You know, but this is delicious. This is, yeah. I added lime cream and cotija cheese. Spot on, dead on. This is one of my favorite taco restaurants.
You also say,
should I say Mexican restaurants outside of Taco Bell. I like Taco Bell, but you know, Taco Bell food is not really, I'm not gonna say this, but Taco Bell food is not really authentic. Meaning, these are like, you know, freshly made. You probably getting fresh product. Even though I'm not gonna say Taco Bell is not fresh, you know, because Taco Bell is Taco Bell. But Taco Bell is a chain, so you're probably getting pre-made meat. You're probably getting, you know, pre-made stuff. When you come to places like this, a lot of these places, the food gets marinated in juices, and, you know, they got a different, you know, a certain type of flavor to it and all that. You know, Taco Bell and other chain restaurants, they might have it where, you know, it's pre-made food that gets delivered, and all they're doing is just cooking it and serving it. You know, the food is already pre-cooked and stuff like that. Like at these restaurants, they probably get the meat, flavor the meat, cook the meat, and serve the meat, you know, and things like that. That's why I say they're not authentic. I mean, there's a lot of restaurants, like for Burger King and McDonald's. I believe those burger patties, they're probably frozen patties. Even though when you said fresh, never frozen patties, you know, those are factory made. That's from the actual factory, so you're getting it from the factory. These, they probably get their meat, you know, they probably do have a warehouse, and they do have, you know, things to deliver their food and things like that. But that's fine, that's cool. You know, that's most restaurants. Is this their chain is a growing chain because they started in South Beach. They ended up having a location at the Kaseya Center, home of the Miami Heat, and they branched out to several other locations. One in Coconut Grove, the one here in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and you have other several locations. I believe there's some in Chicago. I think they're doing Washington D.C. if I'm not mistaken. I know it's a lot of other places, so I advise you come check them out. You know, if you're ever in South Florida or if you're in the neighboring cities, look up online. If you look up the actual word bodega, it kind of means store, or like a New York store, because in New York they call their convenience stores bodega. But when I Google bodega here, it gives me bodega for the Mexican restaurant because I've Googled them so many times. But if you actually look up the meaning of the name bodega, it means like a store, like a convenience store, because I've seen videos of it, and I've seen like YouTube videos of it where they talk about bodega, and that's what they call bodega in New York, which is stores. You know, everybody say I'm going to the bodega, and it's like a corner store and stuff like that. And certain places call their stores bodega too. Like I think there's a store down here that calls itself a bodega, but you know, it's because that's the meaning of it. Now, why this place call itself bodega? I don't know. It may be a unique name or anything, but you know, it's interesting. Oh, by the way, in the area, and I noticed this, there was if you look at my past video, I did probably do a thing of green. There's a market that's not too far from here called Greenwise Market. They actually closed and turned it back and turned it into a public. Because Greenwise is owned by public, and I guess because they probably wasn't making a lot of sales and money, it just ended up being they just turned it into a public. I see there's a produce delivery truck here, which is by Fresh Point. And Fresh Point is a produce company. Well, Fresh Point is owned by Cisco, which is a food service delivery company. So, you know, as you can see, they get their vegetables and veggies and stuff delivered by a produce company. So, anyway, I'm going to be doing the food with you. So, hands down, I give this a 10. I like it. It's good, it's straight. It's good. It's nice. I like it. Come check out Bodega. Check them out on their website. Look up the various locations. If there's one in your area, I recommend you go check it out. They have amazing tacos. I've never did one of their bowls. They have amazing burritos. Of course, the surf and turf. Delicious. If you're ever in the area, whether you're in Miami, South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and other neighboring cities and states, check out Bodega. Go to their website, check out the locations, and see what they have. I love this bottle. It's not big enough for me, even though it's a bottle, because I'm halfway done. Even though I'm halfway done with this too, but I'm gonna have to go get another drink. Because as you know, it is hot out here. Inside, they did have the weather on, and it said it was about 88 degrees. No, it's about 80. It's about 80 degrees, but it feels the highs is 88 and 90 degrees. But it is cooking. So you can only imagine. I know all my rice and stuff is falling out of my mouth. And that's how you know it's a good burrito. When you get a burrito that's packed with stuff and it's falling out of the burrito, and you need a spoon or something to pick up the rest. Perfect mundo. Come on. I thank you for watching this episode of the Roundtable Talk. If you've ever been to Bodega, comment, let me know. Excuse me. Let me know your experiences of going to Bodega. Don't forget to like, click, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, check out my other food reviews that I do in hotspots in food reviews in South Florida. Also, don't forget to check out my Traveling with the Roundtable Talk, hotspots in South Florida, history South Florida, and my other videos that I do, everyday non-essential talk. We are here in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. My alarm's going off. We are here in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. We are here. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated. Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. Comment at the bottom of this page. And I will see you. And I'm about to finish the rest of my bodega. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode.